Have you ever wondered what would happen if artificial intelligence tried to figure out the most unpredictable personality type out there? What if there was one kind of woman who could break the smartest algorithms, leaving them spinning in confusion? And what if this unpredictability was actually her greatest strength? Welcome to time-tested advice, where ancient philosophy meets the modern world. I'm your host, Alfred. Let's get started. Have you ever wondered what would happen if artificial intelligence tried to figure out the most unpredictable personality type out there? What if I told you there's one type of woman who leaves even the smartest algorithms completely stumped? Today, we're diving deep into something fascinating. What happens when cutting-edge AI technology meets the enigmatic Sigma female? Stick around, because what you're about to discover will blow your mind: how AI systems analyze human behavior. Let's take a quick detour into how AI actually works when it comes to understanding people. Modern artificial intelligence uses something called machine learning, which basically means it looks at tons and tons of data to find patterns. It's like having a super smart detective who's looked at millions of cases and can spot similarities in a heartbeat. When AI tries to read human behavior, it's looking for predictable patterns. It analyzes things like a social media activity and posting habits, communication styles and word choices, response times and engagement patterns, or emotional expressions in text and images, decision-making processes, shopping behaviors and preferences, daily routines and lifestyle choices. For most people, AI gets pretty good at predicting behaviors. It knows that if you buy coffee every morning at 7 a.m., you'll probably do it tomorrow too. It understands that if you always respond to work emails within an hour, that's your pattern, can even predict your mood based on the words you use. But here's where the Sigma female throws a massive wrench into the machine: the unpredictability factor that breaks AI. AI loves patterns. Actually, scratch that. AI needs patterns to function properly. Without predictable behaviors to analyze, artificial intelligence basically becomes a confused robot spinning in circles. And guess what the Sigma female superpower is? Unpredictability. A Sigma female doesn't follow the same routines day after day. She might be super social one week and then completely off the grid the next. She could be diving deep into one passion project today and exploring something totally different tomorrow. This isn't because she's flaky or unfocused. It's because she follows her own internal compass rather than external expectations. Let me paint you a picture. Imagine AI trying to analyze a Sigma female's social media presence. Monday through Wednesday, she's posting incredible content, engaging with followers, and seems super active. Then boom, radio silence for 2 weeks. The AI flags this as unusual behavior, maybe even concerning. But then she comes back like nothing happened. Not because anything was wrong, but because she simply chose to disconnect. The algorithm tries to predict her next post, her next move, her next interest. But it can't, because she doesn't operate on autopilot like most people do. She's making conscious choices in the moment based on what feels right to her, not based on what she did yesterday or last week. The privacy puzzle that confuses algorithms. Now let's talk about something Sigma females are absolute experts at: controlling their privacy. And this drives AI absolutely crazy. Most people today have a pretty consistent digital footprint. We check in at restaurants, share our daily activities, post about our relationships, and basically live our lives in public view. This gives AI mountains of data to work with. It's like giving the algorithm a detailed map of your life. But the Sigma female, she's like a ghost in the machine. She shares what she wants when she wants, and it's usually only a tiny fraction of her actual life. She understands that not everything needs to be broadcasted to the world. She might have an incredible relationship, but good luck finding couple photos all over her Instagram. She could be crushing her career goals, but she's not posting about every little achievement. What's fascinating is that this isn't about being secretive or having something to hide. It's about valuing privacy and understanding that her personal life doesn't need public validation. She knows her worth without needing likes, comments, or shares to confirm it. For AI systems that rely on constant data flow, this selective sharing is like trying to complete a puzzle with half the pieces missing. The algorithm can't build an accurate profile when there are huge gaps in the information. It's forced to make guesses, and when it comes to Sigma females, those guesses are usually way off base. The independence variable, A, I can't calculate. Here's another curveball that leaves AI systems completely baffled: the Sigma female's radical independence. And I'm not just talking about being able to pay her own bills or fix her own flat tire, though she absolutely can do those things. I'm talking about emotional and psychological independence that runs so deep, it fundamentally changes how she moves through the world. AI algorithms are built on the assumption that humans are social creatures who seek approval, validation, and connection in predictable ways. These systems analyze how people respond to likes, comments, and social feedback. They measure engagement, track relationship patterns, and predict behavior based on social reinforcement. But the Sigma female doesn't play this game. She doesn't need external validation to feel good about her choices. She's not checking her phone every 5 minutes to see who noticed her latest post. She's not making decisions based on what will get the most approval from others. She's operating from an internal value system that AI simply can't access or measure. Think about it this way. AI can predict that posting a certain type of photo at a certain time will get maximum engagement. For most people, this prediction influences their behavior, whether consciously or unconsciously. But the Sigma female, she posts what she wants. When she wants, without caring about the algorithm's peak engagement times, she might share something at 3 a.m. on a Tuesday just because that's when she felt like it. This independence extends to her relationships too. While AI can usually predict relationship patterns, how long someone stays single, what type of partner they choose, how quickly they move through relationship stages, the Sigma female breaks all these models. She might be perfectly happy single for years, not because she can't find someone, but because she hasn't met someone who adds enough value to her already fulfilling life. The emotional intelligence that algorithms miss. Let's dive into something really fascinating: emotional intelligence. And this is where AI hits another massive roadblock with Sigma females. Modern AI is getting better at recognizing basic emotions. It can tell if you're happy, sad, angry, or frustrated based on your words, tone, and even facial expressions. But emotional intelligence, that's a whole different ballgame. The Sigma female possesses high emotional intelligence that goes way beyond simple emotion recognition. She understands her own emotions deeply. She can sit with uncomfortable feelings without immediately reacting. She processes things internally before expressing them externally. And this creates a disconnect between what AI can observe and what's actually happening inside her mind. Here's a perfect example. Let's say something upsetting happens. AI might expect an immediate emotional response, event post on social media, messages to friends, some visible sign of distress. Most people follow this pattern because it's natural to seek immediate support and validation when upset. But the Sigma female, she might go completely quiet, not because she's in denial or suppressing her emotions, but because she's processing them privately first. She's giving herself time to understand what she's feeling, why she's feeling it, and what she wants to do about it. By the time any external response appears, she's already worked through most of it internally. AI sees the silence and might interpret it as indifference or lack of emotional response, but that couldn't be further from the truth. The Sigma female is experiencing and processing emotions just as deeply. If not more so than others, she's just doing it in a way that leaves no digital trace for algorithms to analyze. This emotional self-sufficiency also means she doesn't rely on digital spaces to regulate her moods. While AI can predict that someone might browse shopping sites when stressed or scroll through social media when lonely, the Sigma female is more likely to handle her emotions through meditation, journaling, long walks, or other offline activities that leave zero data trail. The selective social behavior that scrambles data. Now we're getting into one of the most confusing aspects for AI. If you're enjoying this video, make sure to leave a like, comment, say hello, and consider subscribing to our channel. And if you'd like to support our channel further, you can find that in the description. The Sigma female's highly selective social behavior, and I've got to tell you, this one really throws algorithms for a loop. Most AI social analysis operates on quantity metrics. How many friends do you have? How often do you interact? How quickly do you respond to messages? How many social events do you attend? These quantifiable measures help AI categorize you as social, somewhat social, or introverted. But the Sigma female doesn't fit into these neat categories. She might have a relatively small circle, but the relationships she does maintain are incredibly deep and meaningful. She's not collecting friends like trading cards. She's carefully curating her inner circle with people who genuinely align with her values and energy. What makes this confusing for AI is that her social behavior doesn't follow consistent patterns. She might be super engaged with certain people while completely ignoring others who on paper seem like they'd be important connections. AI can't understand why she'd ignore messages from someone with high social status while immediately responding to a friend who doesn't fit any important algorithmic criteria. She also has this amazing ability to be social on her own terms. She might disappear from all social scenes for weeks, then suddenly show up to an event and be the most engaging person there. Then, poof, she's gone again. AI tries to find the pattern, what triggers her social moods versus her solitary periods, but there isn't a formula. She's simply responding to her own internal needs and desires in the moment. This selective engagement extends to online spaces too. She might be super active in one specific community for a while, contributing valuable content and building connections. Then her interests shift, and she completely disengages from that space without explanation. AI marks this as unusual behavior and tries to predict when she'll return or what caused the change. But there's no data-driven answer, because the change was internally motivated. The career path, confusion for prediction models. Let's talk about something that really scrambles AI's career prediction models, how the Sigma female approaches her professional life. And trust me, this is where conventional algorithms completely fall apart. Career prediction A. I works by analyzing education history, job titles, industry trends, salary data, and career progression patterns. For most people, it can make pretty accurate predictions about next moves, salary expectations, and career trajectory. It knows that someone with X degree and Y years of experience will likely pursue Z type of position, but the Sigma, female. She's writing her own career story that doesn't follow any conventional path. She might have a prestigious degree, but choose to work for a tiny startup that aligns with her values, instead of the big-name company that would look better on her resume. She might be crushing it in one industry and then suddenly pivot to something completely different because it interests her more. What's fascinating is that she's not making these choices based on what will impress others or what the algorithm says is the smart career move. She's following her authentic interests and values, even when they lead her off the beaten path. She might turn down a promotion that would come with more money and status because it doesn't align with her lifestyle preferences or would require her to compromise her independence. AI tries to predict her job satisfaction, but it uses metrics like salary, title, company prestige, and benefits. Meanwhile, the Sigma female is measuring satisfaction by completely different standards. Does the work feel meaningful? Does she have autonomy? Does it allow her to maintain the lifestyle she wants? Can she still pursue her other interests? These internal metrics don't show up in any algorithm's dataset. She's also more likely to have multiple income streams or unconventional work arrangements. She might freelance, consult, have a side business, or create multiple revenue sources that give her flexibility and independence. AI career models are built around traditional employment structures, so this multifaceted approach breaks their prediction models completely, the consumption habits that defy marketing AI. Here's something that frustrates marketing AI to no end, trying to predict what a Sigma female will buy. And if you've ever wondered why you keep getting weird, irrelevant ads, this section will explain a lot. Marketing AI is incredibly sophisticated. It tracks everything you browse, every ad you click, every purchase you make. It builds detailed profiles of consumer behavior and uses that to predict what you'll want next. For most people, this works pretty well. If you buy running shoes, you'll probably be interested in fitness gear, health foods, and athletic wear. But the Sigma female's consumption patterns are all over the place, and not because she's random, but because she buys based on her current genuine interests and needs rather than following consumer trends. She's not buying things to fit into a certain aesthetic or lifestyle category that she can post about. Online, she's buying what serves her actual life, which might include an incredibly diverse range of products and services. One month, she might be deep into a creative hobby, purchasing all the supplies for that. The next month, she's learning a new language and investing in educational materials. Then, she's into hiking and buying outdoor gear. AI sees this diversity and struggles to categorize her as a target market. Is she the creative type, the adventurous type, the intellectual type? The answer is all of the above, depending on the day, which doesn't fit neatly into marketing segments. She's also way less susceptible to FOMO marketing tactics. You know those ads that say, everyone's buying this or trending now? Those barely register for her. She's not buying something because it's trending or because influencers are promoting it. She's doing her own research, reading actual reviews from real users, and making informed decisions that sometimes take weeks or months. This extended decision-making process also confuses AI. The algorithm notices she looked at a product and expects her to either buy it within a few days or lose interest. But she might research something for months, reading every review and comparing every option before finally making a purchase. Or she might decide she doesn't actually need it after all, despite showing significant interest signals that AI interpreted as purchase intent. The relationship patterns AI can't model. All right, let's get into relationship territory, because this is where AI prediction gets really messy when it comes to Sigma females. And I'm not just talking about romantic relationships. I mean all types of human connections. Dating and relationship AI tries to predict compatibility, relationship timelines, and behavior patterns. It analyzes communication frequency, types of dates people go on, how relationships typically progress, and what usually leads to success or failure. These models work reasonably well for people who follow conventional relationship paths, but the Sigma female approaches relationships in a way that completely defies these models. First off, she's perfectly content being single, not waiting for the right person, single, or taking a break from dating single, genuinely happy and fulfilled single. AI models are built on the assumption that most people are actively seeking partnership and that extended single periods indicate either difficulty finding matches or recovering from heartbreak. For the Sigma female, being single might simply mean she hasn't met someone who enhances her life enough to share her carefully guarded independence. She has high standards, not in a superficial way, but in terms of emotional maturity, respect for boundaries, and aligned values. She's not swiping right just to have someone. She's waiting for someone who gets her unique nature. When she does enter relationships, they don't follow typical patterns either. She might not post couple photos constantly. She's not checking in at every date location. She's not changing her relationship status within weeks or making grand public declarations. This lack of visible relationship markers makes AI think the relationship either doesn't exist or isn't serious, when in reality she's just keeping her personal life private. Her friendships also confuse algorithmic analysis. She might not message friends every day or maintain constant contact, but that doesn't mean those friendships aren't incredibly strong. She shows up when it matters. She's there for deep conversations and important moments. But she doesn't engage in the constant low-level communication that AI uses to measure friendship strength. This quality over quantity approach to relationships means AI constantly underestimates the depth and importance of her connections. The algorithm sees low-frequency contact and assumes weak ties when the opposite is often true. The content creation style that confuses engagement algorithms. If the Sigma female creates content online, whether it's social media posts, blog articles, videos, or anything else, you can bet it's going to confuse the engagement algorithms. And here's why content algorithms are designed to reward consistency and predictability. Post at the same times, stick to your niche, engage with comments quickly, use trending audio, follow the latest features. The algorithm loves creators who play by these rules because it can easily categorize and promote their content. The Sigma female creates content when she feels inspired, not when the algorithm says it's optimal posting time. She might share deeply personal insights one day and something completely light-hearted the next. She doesn't stick to one niche because she's not a one-dimensional person, and she's not going to pretend to be just to please an algorithm. What really throws AI off is that she creates for authentic expression, not for engagement metrics. She's not carefully crafting each post to maximize likes and shares. She's sharing what genuinely matters to her, and if it resonates with others, great. If not, she's not losing sleep over it. This means her content might perform wildly differently from post to post, which AI interprets as inconsistent quality rather than authentic self-expression. She's also less likely to follow trends just because they're trending, while everyone else is doing the latest challenge or using the viral sound. She's creating original content that reflects her actual thoughts and experiences. This originality is ironically penalized by algorithms that are designed to promote familiar trend-following content because it's more predictable and easier to categorize. The result, her content often doesn't get the algorithmic push that more algorithm-friendly creators receive, even though the quality and authenticity might be far higher. The AI can't distinguish between low engagement due to poor quality versus low engagement due to not following the unwritten rules of the algorithm game. Why AI struggles more with Sigma females than other personalities. So let's bring this all together and really examine why AI has such a uniquely hard time with Sigma females compared to other personality types. It's not just that they're unpredictable, it's that they're unpredictable in ways that fundamentally contradict the assumptions AI is built on. Alpha personalities might be strong-willed and dominant, but they're still operating within social hierarchies that AI can map and predict. Beta personalities follow social norms and seek approval in ways that create clear data patterns. Even other personality types that value independence still engage with social structures enough to leave predictable patterns. But the Sigma female exists outside of these structures entirely. She's not trying to climb any ladders, win any popularity contests, or follow any prescribed paths. She's creating her own framework for life that's invisible to external observers. Including AI, it's like she's playing a completely different game on a board that AI can't even see. AI is fundamentally built on the assumption that humans are predictable social creatures who respond to external incentives and influences in measurable ways. The Sigma female contradicts this assumption by being internally motivated, selectively social, and largely unbothered by the external incentives that influence most people's behavior. Think of it this way. If AI is designed to understand people by watching how they navigate a maze, the Sigma female is the one who steps outside the maze entirely and makes her own path through the wilderness. The maze-analyzing algorithm simply doesn't have the tools to track or predict her movements anymore. The future of AI and understanding Sigma females. Now you might be wondering, will AI ever crack the code on understanding Sigma females? And honestly, that's a fascinating question that touches on the limits of artificial intelligence itself. As AI gets more sophisticated, it's getting better at recognizing patterns in increasingly complex data. Future AI might be able to identify absence of pattern as itself a pattern, or develop more nuanced models that account for internally motivated behavior that doesn't respond to external factors. But here's the thing, even as AI evolves, the fundamental challenge remains. The Sigma female's behavior is driven by internal values, spontaneous decisions, and authentic self-expression that leaves minimal digital trace. Unless AI develops the ability to read minds or measure internal emotional and cognitive states, there will always be a significant blind spot. Some might argue that this inability to be read by AI is actually a superpower in our increasingly surveilled digital world. While algorithms are predicting and influencing everyone else's behavior, the Sigma female maintains her autonomy and authenticity. She's not being subtly manipulated by recommendation algorithms or targeted advertising because she's largely invisible to these systems. There's also a bigger philosophical question here about whether AI should even be able to fully understand and predict human behavior. The Sigma female's resistance to algorithmic prediction represents something important: the preservation of genuine human complexity. Autonomy and unpredictability in a world that's increasingly trying to categorize and control everything as we move forward into a future where AI plays an increasingly central role in our lives. The Sigma female might represent an important model for maintaining human agency. Not everyone needs to become a Sigma female, but everyone can learn something from her approach to preserving authentic selfhood in the age of algorithms. Conclusion. So what happens when AI tries to read a Sigma female? In short, it gets confused, makes wrong predictions, and ultimately fails to build an accurate model of who she is and how she'll behave. But this isn't a failure on the Sigma female's part. It's actually a beautiful demonstration of human complexity that transcends algorithmic analysis. The Sigma female's unpredictability, privacy consciousness, internal motivation, selective social behavior, and authentic self-expression all combine to create someone who simply can't be reduced to data patterns. She's living proof that humans are more than the sum of our digital footprints, and that genuine autonomy is still possible in the age of artificial intelligence. This matters for all of us because it shows that we still have choice in how we interact with technology and algorithms. We don't have to be predictable. We don't have to share everything. We don't have to let recommendation algorithms dictate our interests or let social media metrics measure our worth. The Sigma female does this naturally, but we can all be more intentional about preserving our authentic selves in the digital age as AI continues to evolve and become more integrated into our daily lives. The Sigma female represents an important counterpoint, a reminder that the most meaningful aspects of human experience often can't be measured, predicted, or optimized by algorithms. Her independence isn't rebellion against technology. It's a commitment to authentic living that happens to be incompatible with pattern-based analysis. Whether you identify as a Sigma female or not, there's something valuable in understanding how she navigates the modern world while maintaining her autonomy. In a future where AI will understand most of us better than we understand ourselves, maybe being a little unreadable isn't such a bad thing after all. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to like, subscribe, and leave a comment. I'm your host, Alfred, and I read every comment.